Hello and welcome to Tri News 360 for Tuesday, November 14th, 2017. I'm Mackenzie Fisher.
And I'm Jennifer Brammer. Tonight, the Catalan government in Spain still fighting for independence in reaction to investigations in Washington.
And when is a pet more than just a pet?
As well as a look into High Point's famous little crepe shop. Hundreds of people lined the streets for the Veterans Day Parade in downtown Asheboro, North Carolina.
Groups from all around the Tri joined marching through Sunset Avenue, Fayetteville Street, and Worth Street in honor of all the men, women, and dogs who served.
The parade featured floats, including a Navy float with a replica torpedo to commemorate all those who fought.
There were many high-profile military vehicles, along with cars honoring those who had fallen, a truly great display of gratitude towards those that protect our freedoms.
Veterans were honored from the streets to the Convention Center at High Point University.
This High Point University alum served with the 8th Infantry in 1962. He and the other vets were greeted by a patriotic salute and a morning of gratitude.
Thanks to the vets graced the campus Friday as the community was invited to share in their tradition of honoring veterans for their sacrifice and service to our nation.
The Convocation Center was jam-packed with the spouses and family members who accompanied the veterans.
From Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam, and the few remaining from the Korean War and World War II, they were recognized and honored music and the students of High Point University.
How would you feel if one of the states in this country suddenly declared its independence from the United States?
That fight is going on right now across the Atlantic in Spain.
People all over Spain right now are confronting just that question. Tri News 360 reporter Isabel Germino spoke via FaceTime with resident in the capital of Spain about the turmoil that faces their country.
Spain has been in chaos for the last month after the Catalan government declared itself an independent nation following a disputed referendum in October, which turned violent after police officers began physically barring people from voting. Judith is a native of Spain's Basque region and a student at a university in Madrid, for whom this crisis is tangible.
The reactions now have been quite visible, so that there have been many people who have decided to go out and say that it's not right what is happening. But I have also to say that this is not a problem that started a month ago. It was since 2007, 2010.
Catalonia's bid for independence is a movement that many Americans can sympathize with, given that our nation declared independence from England. But other factors are at play.
I think it's a pity because I find nations as a way of protect citizens and also a way of encourage people to develop new projects and also encourage them to achieve better goals in order to have a better future. And when you are breaking this nation and this union because you are not in a way comfortable or because you only have seen the bad things, I think it's also quite egoistic because you are not thinking on process and development. You only are thinking of if you are having more or less money. That's why I find it's quite sad and pity, and it's a pity that Catalonia thinks the way it does.
For now, Spain has taken direct control of the once semi-autonomous region, and the future of Catalonia now hinges on the special elections set to take place on December 21st. For Tri News 360, I'm Isabel Germain.
With England leaving the EU and now Spain fighting an internal struggle of independence, Europe is very unsettled once again.
It will be interesting to see just how it plays out and what this could mean for the rest of Europe. Imagine a high school athlete having to give up sports.
In a split second, an entire life changes and all of the dreams go away.
Triad News 360 reporter Sydney Goldberg joins us in Studio B with a local college student who understands the road to recovery for those who have recently been hurt in the attacks on America. Sydney?
Thank you, Mackenzie. Jennifer, joining me in Studio B is Connor Dominic, who suffered a brain injury back in the 7th grade. Connor, do you want to tell everyone what your story was like going through brain surgery?
Sure. So in 7th grade, I was at school and I was playing football in the gym with a couple of my friends. And I go out for a pass and I wasn't looking forward, and on the hardwood floor was a chair that was folded up, but it was the same color as the floor, so I didn't see it. And I tripped over and I hit my head really hard. Not knowing, I cracked my skull and cut the artery, so blood was filling around my brain throughout the day. I thought it was just like a concussion or something, so I went home, slept it off a little bit, but it kept hurting like a lot, so I asked my mom to go to the hospital. And we went over there and I got a CAT scan and they found that I was bleeding in my brain. I needed emergency brain surgery. So I got medevaced in a helicopter over to the local large hospital, and I went into a coma. I was basically dead at one point, which wasn't too good, but luckily the doctors did all they could and were able to save me. Now,
what was your recovery process like?
Recovery was really hard. I basically had to learn to walk again. So I was in a walker for a long time at school. It took about 6 months before I could walk without a cane. I went through a lot of physical, occupational, and different types of therapy like that.
Now, with the recent attacks that have been happening in Vegas and Texas, what do you think the recovery process is going to be like for those people?
Well, obviously they're going to be feeling terrible, but what I've learned through my experience is that through a bad situation, there's good opportunity. For example, after my surgery, I was reached out by a local nonprofit to be a campaign ambassador for a program which helped pack meals for homeless. And we ended up packing over 600,000 meals in one weekend through my help, going out to different churches, talking, asking people to come out and basically sharing my story to get them inspired. So that was a great opportunity. And looking back, I wasn't able to play soccer for a long time, which is my passion, but you just have to look forward, look through the bad and see the good that's ahead.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Back to you in the studio.
The victims will face many hours and weeks of therapy and rehab.
And for the rest of their lives, they will never forget that one moment that changed everything for them. Thank you, Sydney. Coming up next on Triad News 360, when a pet can help you get through college.
And a local favorite eatery looks to expand. We'll be right back.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Welcome back to Triad News 360. I'm Mackenzie Fisher.
And I'm Jennifer Brammer.
News from Hollywood are getting worse and worse. Charges of sexual assault and harassment are flying from everywhere.
Indeed. After the first accusations on Harvey Weinstein, celebrities like Kevin Spacey, Louis C.K., Ben Affleck, and Dustin Hoffman are also accused.
Movies are being canceled, actors are being let go from their roles. There will be more interesting developments in the next few weeks regarding these very serious allegations.
Noelle is more than a fluffy fur ball that just has to be fed and cleaned up after.
Pets can be a great source of comfort when someone is stressed.
We all love our pets. Triad News 360 reporter Madison Johnson has a story of how some college students' furry friends help them through the stress of work and classes.
It's not uncommon to see animals walking around High Point University. In fact, over 10 animals live in the newest resident hall, Cafe. Noelle the cat is a lot more than just a pet. She gives her owner Olivia the comfort and support she needs after a long day of work and classes. Noelle is an ESA, an emotional support animal. These animals can be anything from a cat to even a parrot. Universities are allowing these animals to live on their campuses. Dana Bright is the head of disability services at High Point University. She talked about policies that are in place specifically for ESAs.
If a student requests an ESA on campus, they have to follow through with a few documentation requirements.
Like High Point, most universities in the area share the same policy for animals on campus. In order for the animal to be approved, you must have proof from a doctor that you need the animal in your living environment. Some pet owners on campus believe it's too easy to get approval.
I think on this campus, a lot of people have an easy way to get them approved. And a lot of the times they have them, in my opinion, I see that they don't need them.
Guilford County middle and high schools do not allow ESAs in their buildings. Service animals who have gone through rigorous training are allowed to accompany students with severe disabilities. Although ESAs are very cute, they are not required to have any special training. Most universities in the area have the same policy on ESAs. Only high schools and middle schools differ. Reporting from Triad News 360, I'm Madison Johnson.
If tests and classes, a furry-friendly face can certainly help you out.
True, but eventually the student will have to adapt to the workplace where those ESA animals may not be welcome. Are you a cat person? Do you like coffee? If so, then you should really go visit the Crooked Tail Cafe on 604 Elm Street. Owner Karen Stratman described it as an enriching experience and is a great way for people to bond with cats if they do not own one.
I'm definitely going there. You just have to pay $10 for a quality hour spent with cats. Crooked Tail's partnered with Red Dog Farm, a local animal rescue organization, in hopes of having some of the cats find a permanent home. Easy to spend your day drinking some coffee and relax in a lounge with cats purring all around.
Got a craving for some crepes? Well, if you're from the Winston-Salem area, you're in luck.
The Penny Path Cafe in High Point is opening a new location in Winston-Salem.
Triad News 360 reporter Isabel Germino and Logan Carter have the story.
At the time, I had absolutely no money. Technically, I was as broke as one can be.
The Penny Path Cafe has become a sweet spot in High Point over the last 4 years, serving up both sweet and savory crepes to locals from all over the Triad.
I've been taught to make pan-fried crepes by my grandma from Croatia, and so it's been something that I've been making at the house for my kids all the time, and also needed a change in career.
But getting the shop open took a huge leap of faith.
I had a small cabinet shop and kind of like a we do it all contracting business, and you know, the years leading up to that were pretty rough, especially in this area with the construction business, and so I had to shut this down. In short, I couldn't afford to do what I was doing as a main trade anymore. People just couldn't afford it, and then came that transition. It was technically like a penny on the dollar budget. We needed to do something to the floor, and a friend of mine came and suggested to put pennies on the floor. Then I decided just to make a pathway, and so that's how the name came together, Penny Paths, which ended up ultimately being actually a really cool metaphor for how the place came together.
In fact, people love the Penny Path so much that the Penny Path is expanding to Winston-Salem's Ronaldo Village.
I'm just really excited that it's finally happening, and I think everyone's been waiting as long as we have, because we've been talking about it for years. And yeah, we'll be expanding on the menu, so that's going to be really fun for us, and we'll be a little bit more creative with what we can serve, and then we'll do the same here and give you that same level of creativity. So
In the next couple of months, you can see me eating here at Penny Path. But for now, I'm Logan Carter with HPU News.
I don't know about you, but I'm very excited to see what the new location has to offer.
I'm very excited too, and it is so nice to see local community members being able to succeed. Coming up next, we have a student defying odds and telling her story to encourage others.
And an update on sports when we come back.
How am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for this? Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Welcome back to Triad News 360. I'm Jennifer Brammer.
And I'm Mackenzie Fisher. Who says November anymore? Millions of men are now saying Movember as they grow out their facial hair for a special cause.
The movement started in Australia by Travis Strone and Luke Slattery in 2003. At that time, they founded over 30 guys to do the challenge with them.
Now, the November Foundation includes more than 5.5 million people, 20 participating countries, and 769 million funded since 2003.
The foundation is targeting men's health, more specifically prostate and testicular cancer, as well as mental health and suicide prevention.
Joining us live with Triad 360 News, reporter Emil Menard from California is James Paularana, Development Manager at Movember Foundation USA. Emil?
Thank you, Mackenzie. Jennifer, joining me live via Skype from LA, California, James Paularana from the Movember Foundation USA. Thank you for joining me, James. So,
thanks for having me.
Can you talk a little bit more about how this old movement of Movember started?
Sure. So back in 2003, there was a group of guys, some buddies down in Melbourne, Australia, and they got the crazy idea that they wanted to grow some mustaches. They did it. They grew mustaches for 30 days, sparked a ton of conversations, and they realized that everyone talking to them about their mustache, wanting to know why they're growing a mustache, they saw there was some power behind this mustache. So they looked around, saw that everything going on with the breast cancer movement and Susan G and everything going on there, and they found prostate cancer has the same 1 in 8 affected rate for men. So they decided to raise money for prostate cancer, and that next year they grew mustaches and did it for men's health and prostate cancer and raised $50,000 Australian, which at the time was the largest donation that the Prostate Cancer Foundation of Australia had ever received. And from there, the mustache movement grew and spread across the globe to what it is now, where you see mustaches all over the place.
So, talking about prostate cancer, how is it important to get checked for men?
Well, for men in general, we're trying to get guys to be active participants in their own health. We're not very good at going to the doctor, getting things checked out. If something hurts, kind of let it go until it gets really bad. So we're trying to get guys to go to the doctor. And with prostate cancer, testicular cancer, mental health issues, these are all issues that, if treated early, they can really help prolong your life. So you want to get checked for prostate cancer I think it's recommended once you become 50 years old. And it's a simple blood test. You get your PSA levels checked. You get that. You stay on top of that. That way you and your doctors can monitor it, see where you're at, and if there's any fluctuations, you can kind of get it going, because you want to catch these cancers before they spread throughout your body. I think they say if you live long enough, you're going to get prostate cancer. It's 1 in 7 right now. So those numbers are high. But we want to make sure guys are on top of it, checking things out, so that if something is going wrong, they can get it checked out, get some treatment, and live longer. Great.
And how much money does the Movember Foundation raise each year?
It's hard to put a ballpark figure on the year, because every year it kind of fluctuates. Being a peer-to-peer fundraising platform, it really kind of depends on our Mobros and Mo-Sisters and how well they do each year. So I can't really say an exact number of how much we've raised, but we have funded over 1,200 programs worldwide and have had over 5 million Mobros and Mo-Sisters participate since 2003.
Well, James, thank you very much for joining us from Los Angeles, California. Mackenzie, Jennifer.
Thank you, Emil. The more attention that can be drawn to cancer research, the more lives will be saved.
Movember and the Komen Race for the Cure both can lead the way for raising money and awareness for cancer prevention and research. Thank you, Emil.
Families are at the center of the new baseball stadium project for High Point.
That's right. High Point University President Nito recently presented a detailed concept drawing of the stadium that includes a children's museum, park, and playground.
President Quabain said that family engagement is really important to this project, and he believes that the families of the High Point community will be pleased with the final results.
Some close games for the Panthers.
Triad News 360 sports reporter Michaela Mills is here with the heartbreaks. Michaela?
And Jennifer, tough game for the soccer Panthers. The High Point's men's soccer team suffered a heartbreaking loss to Presbyterian College this past Sunday in the Big South Championship. 110 minutes would not be enough to produce a score, so the game was decided by a shootout, with Presbyterian topping High Point 4-3 on penalty kicks. Despite missing the bid to the NCAA tournament, High Point finished the season with an impressive 10-5-4 record and earned the regular season title in the Big South Conference. The High Point women's soccer team saw their historic season come to an end this past Saturday, falling to the number 2 ranked North Carolina Tar Heel 3-0 in the opening round of the NCAA tournament at Coca Booth Stadium in Cary, North Carolina. Alex Hank made 6 saves in the contest, finishing her HPU career 262, tops in HPU's Division I history. HPU's senior class finished with 50 wins, the most of any class since HPU turned Division I in 1999. High Point finished the year as both the Big South regular season and tournament champions. The High Point women's volleyball team closed out its conference season undefeated, beating Radford 3-1 for their 16th straight conference win. The 16-0 record for the Panthers is the 11th undefeated season in conference history, and most Big South team wins by a team in a single season. Senior Haley Barnes led the Panthers with 16 kills, 13 digs, and 3 aces. The Panthers will be back at Radford this Saturday at 4:30 p.m. as the number 1 seed in the Big South Championship. They will play the winner of the quarterfinal match between the 4th and 5th seeds. High Point's men basketball team defeated William and Mary 166 this past Friday. This is the first time the Panthers have reached 100 points against a Division I opponent in over 10 years. In this Panthers debut, Jihad Proctor had 28 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds in gaining Big South Player of the Week honors. Junior Andre Fox was one shy of his career high with 22 points. Coach Terry's three-headed monster of Proctor, Kamga, and Fox look to continue to perform at a high level as they face Tennessee tonight at 7 p.m. in Knoxville. High Point University women's basketball team traveled to Ohio on Sunday. The Panthers came home with their first loss of the season, 64-61, to Ohio University. Lindsay Edwards scored 12 points and Shay Morgan added 14 rebounds and 5 assists. The Panthers tipped off their season Friday, defeating North Carolina Wesleyan 111-54. Next up, the Panthers are on the road Thursday at Cameron Indoor Stadium against the Duke Blue Devils. The High Point men's cross-country team competed in the NCAA Southeast Regional Championships. Last Friday in Earlysville, Virginia, HPU finished 22nd out of 32 teams with freshman Hossein Boychark leading the way. The Panthers finished 63rd in the 10K. Junior Alejandro Juan Torres finished in 75th. The High Point women's cross-country team season ended Friday after they competed in the NCAA Southeast Regional Championships in Earlysville, Virginia. HPU placed 18th out of 37 teams. The Big South individual champion, Famke Heist, crossed the finish line first for the Panthers. Finishing the 6K in just over 22 minutes, she finished 78th overall. And that's all for the Panthers sports for now. Michaela and Jennifer?
Thanks, Michaela. Fall sports coming to an end and winter sports are just starting. It's a great time to be a fan.
Acupuncture, yoga, and belly painting?
Yes, it's the annual Belly Bazaar in Greensboro, an event to inform pregnant women with all of the different options they have regarding their pregnancy.
But there is a fun side to the Belly Bazaar, belly painting. A fun moment to celebrate the women's pregnancy with many unique and wonderful designs in painting.
Over 50 vendors are present: acupuncture, water births, massages, and yoga.
It's a good event for midwives, doulas, and other maternity-related businesses to seek out customers and inform the mothers-to-be.
This was the 8th time they've had the event, and by the looks of the artwork and turnout, it won't be the last. Unfortunately, we're all out of time here at Tri News 360. Joining us next week, and until then, I'm Mackenzie Fisher.
And I'm Jennifer Brammer. Have a good night, High Point.